Welcome to Freed on Business. He grew up in South Florida, has been in business here since the early 90s, and has closed over $3 billion in deals. He's seen it all. He always has an opinion, and he's always ready to share it. Informed, entertaining, and connected, he has his finger on the pulse of South Florida's business community. He's Jim Freed, and this is Freed on Business.
Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Freed on Business. This is episode 844. I'd like to thank our friends at Warren Henry Automotive for being our sponsors for well over a decade. I've got notes from them since basically 2012. So what's that? 15, 16 years we've been doing this together? 14? Anyway, that shows you how good I am at math. This is we're taping this show in early November of 2025. Usually I don't mark the date, but this week we're going to be talking about how are interest rates impacting South Florida's development cycle. And the reality is, I'll give my throwaway line here. It's my usual line about interest rates. If I knew what they were going to do and their impact, I'd just move to Las Vegas and I'd win all the time in Las Vegas. But today, we're going to talk about the interest rates in the development cycle. We're going to be streaming, as always, live on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Instagram. You can always look for us at Jim Freed or at Freed on Business. And I want to thank our friends at Warren Henry Automotive, who I'm sure are loving decreases in interest rates because that impacts the monthly cost that people pay on their lease or their financing. Always the best price, always the best service, always Warren Henry. And a shout out to Eric, Larry, Ismet, and Warren and the rest of the team over at Warren Henry for being sponsors of the show and allowing us to be their brand ambassador for well over a decade. And now back to today's show about the impact of, at this moment, falling interest rates on South Florida's real estate development market. South Florida's real estate development market is an outlier. It's not really driven, the purchases aren't really driven by interest rates as much as they are all cash buyers and flight of capital from Latin America and also New York and California and a couple of other states that have been showing up recently in our neighborhood. So while interest rates may be something that that impacts most of the rest of the market, Florida as much. So a lot of people have been talking about the buildings that have been going on here in South Florida, the high rises. It's very difficult to make the high rise building numbers work. That doesn't necessarily isn't directly impacted by interest rates. Those are just a factor. The construction costs, the land costs, those things really put things into are included in what's going on in the development situation here. There's a lot of development that's being delivered either in the super upscale markets of Edgewater, Brickell, Coconut Grove. Some places the wrong product is being developed. Those would be the secondary and tertiary markets. I am very up to date on this because I just closed a $60 million construction loan in Riviera Beach for the estate companies. It's widely known. We did that construction loan with Banco do Brasil, thanks to our good friend Bob Gutlawn at the bank and the rest of the bank officers at the bank. We got that closed and not really interest rate driven. That the interest rate doesn't really break that kind of a deal. It's a unicorn. It's a garden deal here in South Florida, done by a firm that's vertically integrated, the estate companies. And so they have incredible abilities to deliver on time, on budget with great costs. And they had a great value in the land. They have what I call legacy land value, which is, again, one of the ways that things get cost alignment. But developers from out of town that buy land at retail and then, go out and get construction quotes and development quotes, it's not really easy. And then when you get into the high rise circumstance, you're looking at transactions that need to get rental rates at $5 a foot. Not everybody in South Florida can pay that. The people that are moving here, well, maybe they can pay that, but even they are resistant. So as a person that did the first deal that had a pro forma $1 rents in Aventura and had a profile $2 rents for the first time, which was down in Dadeland. Those deals always set the market. So I've always been able to stay ahead of the market and get those deals done. But it takes a lot of creativity. It takes the right developer. It takes the right location. The $1 deal was waterfront in Aventura. Interestingly enough, that site's just been sold to somebody, and they're going to build a high-rise on it. The deal in Dadeland was across the street from the Dadeland Mall, or as we like to say, waterfront. I also did a deal across the street from the Brickell City Center, which was another record-setting transaction. So I'm always able to do really nice real estate transactions. Do have a lot of experience in there, but interest rates aren't really affecting the development market here. It's the development cost and all the costs that are incorporated in that. So as they lower rates, you would think that would have an impact on the market from the retail buyer standpoint in the condo market. But the reality is most of the condo buyers here in South Florida don't use loans. People that do use loans are typically going to be in second position. They're going to have to pay a little bit more for their property in order to ask the person to wait until their loan closes, because most of the buyers come without a financing contingent. We've had Ed Cairo on the show many, many times. We'll have Ed on again in a few weeks talking about the residential mortgage rates. With those rates coming down, empirically, you'd have people being able to pay more for the houses, but as house inflation goes up, their ability to stretch the dollar goes down. So again, it's really a situation that nets everything out. So South Florida's housing market will continue to be an anomaly here in the national sector. I think nationally, the decrease in interest rates will help the home builders, but even now you're seeing home builders discounting their properties across the country because they perhaps have made miscalculation on the number of units to build in certain locations. In other locations across Florida, lease up of the rental buildings is slower than they had projected. They're not reaching their rental rates, and so it's been really, really difficult to have the numbers make sense in many other markets. So now you have people that are trying to get bridge loans, and the numbers don't pencil out even for the bridge loans. So the entire situation is kind of a chicken and egg theory. The market is softening for rentals. The market is still strong in certain markets for condos, and others it's not so strong. And the construction costs are going to continue to go higher and higher. Then you have the political class talking about how they have to deliver housing that's more affordable for the workforce, for the people that work here. And I don't know that they'll be able to do that because their standard answer is, well, let's just build higher. As they build higher, it costs more. Who's going to pick up the tab to bring the cost of housing down into what the local wage earner in South Florida can pay? The answer is the public. I think the public will be resistant to that type of income transfer. So it'll be very interesting to see what the solution is. When people ask me what the solution is, I tell them the truth. The truth is that the solution is different project by project, block by block, developer by developer. And, it'll be a situation that is defined by each individual circumstance. We're working with actually one of the architects here in town and one of the faith-based organizations, a local church, to try to help that church save the land that it has. And the church has been here for 100 years, and we're looking to keep them here for another 100 years. So the answer is there is no answer. If I had the answer, like I said, I'd go to Las Vegas. So, the easiest thing to finance, cash flowing real estate. But cash flowing real estate and the impact on interest rates there is that you'll be able to finance a little bit more, but will you be able to cash out what your property is or what you're looking for? The answer is, I don't know. You really need a good relationship with the right banker. You need the right property, the right type of cash flow. If you get all that together, will you be able to do it? The answer is probably. So stick with us. We're going to have a quick break, and then we're going to be back with the bottom line. Take it away, Miami Podcast Studios. I want to thank our friends at Warren Henry. They've been sponsors of the podcast for quite some time now. I want to thank Larry, Eric, Ismet, the rest of the team at Warren Henry, all my service advisors. They've been great. When you're looking to buy or lease a car, you want to get every advantage that you can. That's why my friends, clients, my family, we all go to Warren Henry Automotive. We've been talking about mortgage rates and interest rates. Well, as interest rates go down, cars become more affordable. The payment goes down because the payments are based on the cost of money. At Warren Henry, they'll always be transparent. They'll always work with you to make sure you get the best price, the best rate, the best lease, the best value on your trade-in. They made sure that when I got my latest car there, that I got a great value on my trade-in versus what you can get on the open market or even what they call the blue book value. So when you're looking to get your car, go to Warren Henry. You get a whole group of services, including the Warren Henry Advantage, a whole bunch of things. My favorite is, of course, I get to get a loaner car. I book my service. I get the loaner car. Usually use it to go see my mom. Come back the same day usually, and bang, there's my car. It's all ready to go, all clean, all ready to go to the next business meeting. So remember, they've got their store up in Biscayne and 151st and Biscayne, where they've got Land Rover, Range Rover, Jaguar, Lincoln. That's where I got my Lincoln Navigator. I love that car. It's like a floating technology bubble. I get to change the mood in it, all kinds of other things. It even comes with a button I can push to make it smell good. They have like all these different smells you can have in your car. So the latest technology up in Gainesville, they've got a store that sells Audis. Down in the Keys, their store there sells all their great name brands. And they've got their award-winning stores in West Broward and in South Dade. Land Rover and Range Rover, both over there. So remember, join me, my friends, my clients, my beautiful wife, Vivian, my mom, the rest of my family. We're all members of the Warren Henry family. You should be too. Always the best price, always the best service, always Warren Henry.
Welcome back to Freed on Business. Connect with us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter at Jim Freed or at Freed on Business, and on Instagram at Jim Freed 1. Now, back to your host, Jim Freed.
All right, well, we've been talking today about what the impact of interest rates dropping will be on the Miami real estate market. And I would say that the bottom line is minimal. The Miami real estate market really isn't driven by interest rates. It's really driven by development costs and offshore capital and capital from out of state. And those people are moving here and they're buying all cash. From a rental standpoint, if you can get it capitalized, then you'll need to get rental rates that are significantly higher than they were a few years ago. But that's mostly due to the development cost. You can reach out to me. You see my number there and my email. I help the best families in town get their financing. Like I said, I recently closed a $60 million construction loan for the estate companies, got them a great rate, got them a great loan to cost and great terms. I want to thank my friends at BB America's Bank, including the loan officer that helped us get it done, Bob Gutlawn. I want to thank my friends at the estate companies, Jeff Artisan, Alex Ariette, and of course, Robert Cerise and Ignacio for helping us get that loan closed. We're working on some more loans for other families here in town. And, they're using the relationships. Right now, the best loan comes from somebody who can get you the relationship. It's not about what I call watering the lawn and rifle and shotgunning it to everybody. It's about calling the right person and having the right sponsor. So that's the bottom line. It always depends. And if you need that loan, reach out to me. I want to thank our sponsors, Warren Henry Automotive, always the best price, always the best service, always Warren Henry. And of course, I want to thank our friends at the Bergstrom Center for Real Estate Study, where we're proud to mentor a lot of the students, help them get jobs, give them advice, and contribute to the community. Remember, if you missed anything on today's show, you can look for the replay on any of our socials, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitch, or Instagram, at Jim Fried or at Fried on Business. You can head on over to the at Jim Fried YouTube page, Apple Podcast, Spotify, anywhere you get your audio, and check out any of our past episodes. I want to thank again our friends at Warren Henry, our friends at the University of Florida Center for Real Estate Studies. And I want to remind everybody that the person who wants to do something finds a way, the other finds an excuse. Now go out there and make it happen. God bless you. God bless the United States of America. Thank you for spending your valuable time with us here on Fried on Business, Miami Podcast Studios. The rest of the show is yours. Do your magic.